From the Detroit Free Press, it's Thursday, February 6th. Here are today's top stories, presented by Bush's Fresh Food Market. Calling all foodies, Bush's is hiring. Are you passionate about food, looking for growth, development, and excellent wages? Come grow with Bush's and apply online at bushes.com/join our team. That's Bush's, BUSCHS.com/join our team.
For the Detroit Free Press, I'm Darcy Moran. Last week, news broke of a racist thread of comments posted by Saline high school students on the social media app Snapchat. The thread included gorilla emojis and the N-word. Emotions have been high since then in and around the small city. On Monday, those tensions came to a crux when a local man was interrupted at a school inclusion meeting while describing the pain his own son went through after being called names like taco and enchilada. Another man said, quote, "Then why didn't you stay in Mexico?" unquote, according to local media outlets. On Wednesday night, Saline residents marched downtown to show they'd had enough. One resident, Valerie Cesar Helmer, carried a sign.
For those who have loved me and embraced me, I thank them. And then for those who do not embrace me and my culture, I'd just like them to know that they need to get used to it.
And what's your sign say?
I am Saline. Get used to it.
I'm Frank Witzel with the Detroit Free Press. A class action lawsuit filed in federal court on Wednesday accuses the Wayne County Sheriff's Office of seizing thousands of cars and other property from people who have committed no crimes. The lawsuit says the seizures are a violation of people's constitutional rights. In the lawsuit, a 50-year-old Southfield woman said she lent her boyfriend her Ford Fusion to look for a job, but police said he went looking for a prostitute and seized the car. There were no arrests, and the woman said she had no idea what her boyfriend was doing. In addition, a 29-year-old Detroit man said his Camaro and more than $2,000 in cash also was seized. He said he was cleared of wrongdoing, but hasn't gotten his car or money back. A spokesman for Wayne County declined to comment. The lawsuit is part of a broader effort by a nonprofit organization in Virginia which champions libertarian causes nationwide. In 2 years alone, the group said, Wayne County has forfeited at least 2,600 cars, which brought in $1.2 million.
For the Detroit Free Press, I'm Angie Jackson. 70 people work at Phyllis Engelbert's 3 vegan restaurants in Ann Arbor, and more than 75% of them have served time in jail or prison. That's because Engelbert believes that people who've been incarcerated and people recovering from addiction deserve a chance. She doesn't run a background check when interviewing people for jobs at her 3 restaurants, Detroit Street Filling Station, the Lunchroom Diner, and the Lunchroom Bakery. Instead, Engelbert wants to know how potential employees will treat others. This approach has opened doors for people like Malachi Muhammad. Engelbert's support for Muhammad started when she wrote letters on his behalf to the parole board while he was still in prison. Muhammad was freed in November after 29 years incarcerated for a murder conviction as a juvenile. Now he earns $14 an hour washing dishes at Engelbert's Bakery. She says he's a helpful addition to her staff, and she encourages other employers to look beyond someone's criminal record.
For the Detroit Free Press, I'm Meredith Spellring. They are the closest things we have to living dinosaurs, dating back millions of years, and they lurk in the Great Lakes and some inland waters. Lake sturgeon are an ancient fish that can grow to more than 6 feet in length and weigh more than 100 pounds. But they're critically endangered, so there are strict limits on how many are allowed to be caught in Michigan. This year, that limit was just 6 fish, and those 6 fish were snapped up in just 6 hours. Once the permitted 6 were caught, the season was over. Anglers started the season on Black Lake in Sheboygan County February 1st at 8 a.m. until it closed at 1:40 p.m. The season was set to run originally from February 1st through the 5th or until the quota was hit. The original quota for the sturgeon this year was 7, but was reduced to 6 to avoid overfishing. More than 400 people participated in the 6-hour fishing season, the most since the start of the open sturgeon fishery, according to the Department of Natural Resources. Of the 6 sturgeon that were caught, 3 were males, ranging from 44 to 60 inches, and weighed between 16 and 51 pounds. The 3 females were between 47 and 75 inches long and ranged from 19 to 100 pounds. The largest sturgeon caught of the day was a female, measuring at 75 inches and weighing 100 pounds. For more information on the sturgeon and their short-lived season, head to freep.com.
This is Dave Birkett, Lions beat writer for the Detroit Free Press, here with your first mock draft of the year. The Lions have the third pick in April's NFL draft, and the hope is they'll be able to trade down with a quarterback-needy team that wants to come up and take Alabama's Tua Tagovailoa. That's a distinct possibility with the Miami Dolphins at 5, the Los Angeles Chargers at 6, and the Carolina Panthers at 7, all in need of a quarterback. But until we know more about the health of Tua's hip, draft trades will be tough to project. In my first mock, I have the Lions staying at 3 and taking one of college football's best defensive players. I considered Auburn defensive tackle Derek Brown and Clemson's do-it-all hybrid Isaiah Simmons, but in the end, I went with Ohio State cornerback Jeff Okudah, a defensive playmaker who could help transform a Lions secondary that gave up the most passing yards in the NFL last season. Pairing Okudah with Darius Slay and Justin Coleman would give the Lions one of the best secondaries in the NFL, and if the Lions trade Slay, that's all the more reason for them to go cornerback in round 1.
For more stories from the Detroit Free Press, be sure to check out freep.com. That's FREEP.com, and sign up for the daily briefing newsletter. See you tomorrow.